Okay. Welcome back, Charlie. I hope you've had a great week so far. Before we review the goals we've been working on, how have things been going since our last session?
Well, first, it's really good to be back. I'm really excited to see you. And to answer your question, honestly, I'm drained. My partner keeps asking for favors, and I feel guilty saying no. I end up doing everything even if I'm exhausted.
That does sound exhausting and sounds like a lot of work to put yourself through emotionally and physically. And, I appreciate you being open and honest and coming into this with full transparency. When we first began, you identified a main goal of setting boundaries in your relationship without feeling guilty.
Mm.
Does that still feel like the focus you want to work on or something else? And feel free to take a few seconds to think about it.
To be honest, there's a million things we could work on, but I think the thing that's most hindering me right now is that the guilt surrounding that and like setting healthy boundaries. So yeah, I think I still want to keep the goal the same.
Okay, awesome. And I want to be able to help guide you through this. So when you're thinking of improvement, what does healthy boundaries look like for you? Feel free to name a couple, and it's okay to take your time thinking about it and working through it.
Um, to be honest, I really want to be able to say like I can't do that right now or like just feeling like it's okay to like not agree. Because I think my biggest issue is like being more concerned about his feelings and not wanting to like rock the boat, make him upset. Um, yeah, I want to care more about how I'm feeling than how he's feeling.
Okay, that's a meaningful change. And, it sounds like the kind of growth that a good growth that will impact your emotional health as well as your relationship dynamics with your partner, which is important. And based on what you're describing, you're moving from contemplation to preparation, which is awesome. And, you're not just aware of the issue, you're, considering steps to change it and, work through it. Does that seem to fit?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. Like I want to change it. I just don't know how.
Okay. And that's exactly what we're going to work on during the rest of our session today. So that's perfect. Um, so getting into that, let's kind of look at what you've already done. So last week, you planned to practice pausing before saying yes. How did that go when you did it?
To be honest, I remembered it a couple of times. Like right after our last session, I felt like I was doing really well with it. Um, like I didn't say no like I wanted to,
Yeah.
but I also instantly didn't say yes either.
Okay. And that's progress. It's, little steps at a time, but it's still considered progress. And, it's important to slow down your automatic reaction. And that's a big step. It shows self awareness and emotional regulation, which is what we need. And, what helped you pause?
Um, I just like I kept thinking like I'm allowed to think, right? I'm
Yeah.
allowed to sit, process it, think about what I already have planned, maybe check my calendar, just give myself time to like breathe and be okay with the fact that I might not be agreeing to what he's asking for. And that really helped. It made me feel a bit more confident.
And, that's a really good internal boundary. And I love that you found that. And so now, what made it hard to take the next step? and say no when you needed to. And why do you think that was hard?
Guilt. Like, I instantly feel guilty if I don't, agree, you know? Um, to be honest, like, seeing the look on his face because he's not very thoughtful when it comes to, like, things that I already wanna do. So, I'm always worried that it might turn into an argument or, just ruin the mood for the day or even the week, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a very real concern. And, that's important that you notice that. And noticing that guilt means you're entering that preparation stage, because you're basically identifying what's getting in the way, which is important to acknowledge. So if you feel comfortable, we can explore one situation that happened this past week where a boundary might have helped. And if you're not comfortable, we can make up a possible situation. It's completely up to you.
Mm, yeah, actually a few times come to mind, but I think the biggest one that's kind of repetitive is, so on Tuesdays I go to the gym. And so on Tuesday, my partner asked me, like right after work, if I can cancel going to the gym and go with him to do run errands. And I was really upset about it. I was really upset because like he knows that's my routine and um I I had to cancel it and like and just feel all the emotions of like, guilty because I didn't go to the gym again. It's how I feel about my weight. It's like that's my me time and I really want to like keep up with that and I haven't been able to.
And so basically your response to that is you just ended up canceling it yet again for him. And I appreciate you being honest, because when you're honest, we can help work through it. And I know that's really hard. What would you have liked to do in the moment instead of just saying, yeah, I'm just gonna cancel? You could take a few seconds or minute to think about it.
Um I wish I would have just said no, I'm going to the gym. I
Yeah.
I wish I would have said no, I can't cancel, sorry. In some way put myself first. But I just ended up letting my emotions get to me and just giving in.
And sometimes that happens, but like how you explain it, that's basically saying I can help after my class, but I'm not canceling. That is a very respectful boundary to set with him. Um, and I think that's really good for you to come to that conclusion. So why don't we practice saying it together so it starts to feel more natural for you? And I'll play your partner.
Okay.
Okay. So as your partner, hey, can you just cancel your class because I want you to come with me so we can go to the store and grab some stuff for me?
It's Tuesday, so I'm actually gonna go to the gym. Um, and then we can go afterwards.
Well, I think that you could just do gym another day, because I really need to go to the store and I just think it's better for you to come with me.
Oh, I completely understand. But I'm gonna go to the gym, but if you want me to go with you, we can go afterwards.
Okay, thanks for letting me know. I guess we'll just wait till you're done with your gym time.
Wow, saying that out loud wasn't as scary as I expected it to be. Like I was definitely nervous doing it. Do you feel like I came off like too strong or argumentative?
No, I think you delivered it very calmly and respectfully. He kept it was kind of like pushing, but you kept it very level. And you basically said the same thing two different times, so it can come across very well. And I love that. And that basically tells me that you have the skill. You just need more practice using it, which we all need more practice doing things. And that's totally okay. And so before we move to the end of our session today, are there any changes you want to make to your goals?
No, I think this is like the main one I wanna keep working on, like, specifically advocating for myself without feeling guilty. I really wanna make sure I get this down right.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad that you're, working very hard on this goal. Um, and so just, since you've been gaining insight and actively practicing these skills, I kind of want us to begin thinking about the ending phase of our work together. Now, this doesn't mean we stop today, okay? But I think it's very important to prepare so the transition feels empowering and not abrupt and feels like I'm just leaving you off to the races all by yourself.
Mm, let me get myself together.
Yeah, absolutely.
To be honest, it really does make me nervous. Like, it's almost like I'm like a scared, like I'm afraid feeling when you say that. Um, like I know I understand, right? Like this is, you're there to help me with my skills and um but I have to learn to advocate for myself, right? But it's nerve-wracking because I'm afraid like, you know, what if I fall into the same patterns or, you know, I just give up and just accept the way it is. Like it just makes me really nervous to think about the end right now.
Yeah. And that's a total normal feeling to have. And part of our work is helping you maintain that confidence without needing weekly sessions.
Mm,
And you're already demonstrating that you can identify patterns, use coping strategies, and practice healthier communication. And that's really awesome.
wow, I didn't I guess I didn't realize I was improving. So that was really helpful to hear.
You definitely are, and I'm very proud of you. And now, basically, our goal is to reinforce that progress that you're making so
Okay.
that you're not just becoming dependent on me to make decisions, you're feeling confident to make those decisions for yourself independently. So,
Mm,
over the next few sessions, we're going to focus on a couple things. One of them being building a realistic maintenance plan for setting boundaries with your partner, identifying future triggers and how to respond to them, as well as ensuring you feel confident continuing this work on your own.
okay. That feels helpful. I like the fact that you have a plan because I don't. And those sound like very fitting. It really lays everything out for me.
Okay, awesome. I'm glad you feel that way. Before we close today, what is one takeaway you're leaving with?
Hmm. The pausing, like that the pausing before answering actually counts as progress. And I mean, also like the fact that we practiced boundaries, that was really helpful because it's like I was able to feel nervous in a safe setting, and maybe the more that I practice that, I'll feel more confident in advocating for myself.
Yeah, those are awesome insights. You're moving from the preparation into the action stage, and that shift is really huge.
Mm,
Next session will review how your practice went through the week and begin outlining your long-term boundary maintenance skills.
mm. That sounds like a good plan. Don't rush too
Ah,
much though.
awesome. You're very welcome. It was great seeing you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll see you for our next session next week. Bye,
Thank you so much,
Charlie.
Miss Miller. Bye.
Bye.